Alright, everyone. I think it's finally loaded up. No, that took way longer than I thought. Because I started streaming, so you have to start the stream on OBS, then go to the live stream section of YouTube, then press and then it'll start over in the corner about go live, and that took probably almost a minute for the stream to actually load up. Hey Nico, how you doing? Okay, so today we're going to look at the rock paper scissors game. So I don't know, Nico, if you know that game or not. It is a very good decision. Rock, let's get a capital. Rock paper scissors, I think that's right. So I hope everyone is doing well today. So how are we going to go about doing this? Well, first we need to set some ground rules that we need to know and some decisions. So let's see. So rock beats scissors. Paper beats rock. And scissors beats paper. Alright. And of course, we have 3 and 3. Yep, that's right. That's right. And then, of course, you flip them around. Rock, scissors, scissors, rock, paper, rock. Let's make sure. Paper and rock. Yep. Paper and scissors. Yep. We already did paper and rock, and then paper and scissors. All right. That's all of them. So now we need to go ahead and get this laid out. I still don't like how my mouse, it does too many lines at one time. So hope everybody's doing well. We're designing a game that you're going to play the computer to play rock paper scissors. So we have 3 different scenarios we need to do, and we need to let the computer make its own choice. So we need to make a list of choices. First, let's go ahead and do that. Do we want to spell these out, or we just want to do rock, paper, scissors? Let's do that. Then we RPS. Oops, I just hit everything. My little spit screen and the mic, and that probably sounded pretty loud. All right, so has anybody ever seen or built anything like this before? Just thought about that. Everybody in my family says I'd gulp and drink. Your OBS was turned off. Oh, for just a second? It dropped? Really? Alright. Unmute Discord. I got that. So, actually, Nico, one thing that I found out is I was going to get ahead of that and have it open already and have it up. So, when I open OBS, it mutes Discord. So I didn't even start the stream. So because I don't keep OBS open, because it once you open it, it turns on this on the camera. So it must have a connection that once it turns the camera on, it mutes Discord. So I've gotten in a better habit of that. like until the stream wasn't showing anything. No, the feed. No, it was on. So I started the stream. I think I need to reset my internet or restart the router because everything is going slow around here. No, so you open up OBS, start streaming the OBS software, then it loads up into YouTube, and then you start YouTube. But there was probably almost a full minute from me starting the stream in OBS before it even loaded into YouTube to say that I could even start the stream. So it was buffering that much. That's how I know something is very delayed, that it didn't have enough data to even buffer to start the stream for probably almost a minute. All right, so let's see where we are. Yeah, because what I'm live at 37, and I had already pressed the streaming button because I was gonna, because most of the time it takes 4 or 5 seconds to go from OBS to start the stream. So I'm like, okay, I'll start the stream. I'll jump over to Discord so I don't forget. Since I usually sit here for 4 or 5 seconds, and I go, I'm live, and then I went back and I just kept looking and waiting to hit the button, and then I hear Nico on Discord saying, hey, it's not ready at all. All right, so here we are. So rock, paper, scissors. So we have our choices. So now this is because the interaction from the user, they can just choose rock, paper, and scissors. They don't need a choice. So we need to bring in random. We've been seeming to be using random a lot. And we need to go ahead and bring this in, import random. And if I recall, let's look. I think there is a very helpful Yep, there we go. So, Vinky. Yep. Right here. And choices. So, let's change this. I had a feeling this was a bad variable name, so we're going to go ahead and change this up. Let's go picks. Change this to picks. So we need to look at choice and choices, because I can't quite remember, but this is the thing. We don't need to remember because we have tools to help us. All right. Choose a random element from a non-empty sequence. All right, this sounds good, but what's the difference between this and choices? All right, choices, population, cumulative weight, return a case-size list of population elements chosen with replacement. Okay, so I can make more than one choice. I completely forgot this. I think I have used this once, but I can't remember the use case of it. So we need, so this was choice, and bingo. Vinky was 100% correct. And thank you for joining us today. If you've not hit the like button, please go ahead and like this video for me and hit the subscribe button. And between players and nested loops. So I can't remember, but we're just going to rebuild this because I've actually done this video a long time ago. And we're going to see if I can optimize this to its best without over-engineering it. So that's kind of like the test that I'm doing these days and sharing what's able to be done. So can I rebuild it? Can I rebuild it optimized? And can I rebuild it without over-engineering it? And we've already seen that I already have a tendency of over-engineering, which is what you have to be on the guard of when you become a better and better programmer. So you have to walk that fine line of recklessness and maturity. So you don't over-engineer it, don't overcomplicate it. Because I watched this one seminar a few years ago, And what this individual had done is he took an entire library of, let's just say hundreds. I feel like it was thousands of lines of code, but I think it was just hundreds. And they were able to shorten it down to 20 lines, I think, just because it was constantly being messed with by other engineers. All right, so here we are. So we need the computer to make its choice. Computer pick equals random dot choice, passing in picks. So let's go ahead and run this again and print no. Computer pick, run. So it just happened to pick scissors. All right, so cool. So now we don't need this. We need to bring in player pick input. So now this is actually going to be a string, and it's a non-digit. So we don't need to do anything to it. So we can use the regular input function and not need to convert, change, blah, 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 blah. We don't need to do anything like that. All right, so input. Please choose. Please make your pick rock, paper, or scissors. And we need to do this because we know from a couple times ago that our cursor will default right beside it and it just looks sloppy. All right, so now now we need to run this. So I want to pick rock. Now let's be very wary. We do have an issue right here, so I guess maybe we do need to do something right here. So we have consistent. Or do we want to go this way? Let's go upper. Everybody know what upper and lower is? So let's look at a string for a second. dir on str. Strings have a ton of methods that can be very, very helpful. Upper, HOJK lower. Let's see what in the world upper does. So help.str.upper. Return a copy of a string converted to uppercase. All right, what does lower do? And return a copy of a string converted to lowercase. So, all right, these are because we want consistency. Because right here, this is important. That's false. Watch this. Boom. So we're going to take, you just want consistency. That's all you want to be on the lookout for. So right now, if they enter uppercase, of course it stays uppercase. So this is you don't hurt anything here. It doesn't go, oh, you wanted me to make it more upper. It's just, I'm putting an upper on an upper, and it doesn't do anything, but it also doesn't throw up. It doesn't error out. So you can be very defensive here and write very clean and handling user error. So you could say, hey, enter an upper. Have them right here as an example, but a person's brain is very interesting, and you need to defend against how it's going to act. That's the basis of dyslexia. It's a version of comprehension where more in-depth comprehension is understood, but the subtlety of a lowercase or an uppercase is completely missed. So there we go. All right, so let's run this again, and R, and let's print out pick. print player pick. All right, run this again. Putting in a lowercase r, I'm running this, I get an uppercase R. All right, cool. So now let's uncomment this out, run this again. Don't need to reinvent the wheel. All right, so then rock. All right, so the computer would pick scissors. I would pick rock. Now we need to start having something happen. And then I also want to do like multiple games. How many games do you want to play? So I want to be able to pass in how many games they want to play. Because the standard is best 2 out of 3. So how many games is that? That's 5 games. All right. Oh, sorry. Best 2 out of 3. That's 3 games. You have to win 2 of them. So then if they want to play 5 or 7, you have to play an odd number, or you could possibly get a tie. So 2 out of 3 games. So we need to figure out some wording on that as well. All right, so we need to design our decisions for who wins. Okay, so rock beats scissors. Paper, I gotta say these out loud to make sure. Rock smashes scissors. All right, so rock beats scissors. Paper covers rock. Paper beats rock. Scissors cuts paper. Scissors beats paper. All right, okay. Just wanted to make sure that I was doing this right before we set up our primer and have this be all wrong. So yeah, here's a perfect example. This isn't inside of, I was talking about this yesterday. If it's not inside a function, I want it like this. But then if it's inside a function, I want it all collapsed. Don't know why. It's just part of some of my very interesting human behavior. That's me. All right, so we need to, how many games are we going to, all right, we don't have this in a function yet, so it doesn't matter. We're not calling it. While, please pick, let's not do a loop yet. Let's say, if rock so we need to be consistent. If computer pick equal to rock and player pick equal to, let's see, rock and then scissors. Okay. Print you let's see how we can do this. All right. Let's come over here. So we need to design this. All right. So we have this decision. So right now, rock, and then if you no. So there's going to be a tie because you can pick either a rock, a paper, or a scissors. So this is not like the other choices where we've had one come in and because you can actually pick the same. So we need to go through this. So if, here we go. We need to go through each of all the choices. That's right. All right, so if player pick equals rock, print tie. There's that control Z. elif player pick equals, so right now we're here, and this is if the computer has rock. So if we pick rock, it's a tie. If we pick paper, print, so paper covers rock, print, you win. So let's keep thinking about this. Else, print, you lose. Now, we'll deal with counting the games here in a minute. But let's just go through this. And I like to call these paths. So we have 9. We have 3 times 3, so there's 9. So there's 9 paths we have to do. So we're going to have 3 outer, 3 inner. And basically it's just going to be some sort of variation of this. Because if computer picks rock, we pick rock, it's a tie. We pick paper, we win because paper beats rock. And then the only thing left, we don't have to do the test because it's an else, because there's only 3 paths. There's only 3 choices: rock, paper, and scissors. So now let's kind of repeat this. Same structure, but we don't want to do, you can do if, but it's just more costly. So I did a video on why elif. So if you have an if, it checks every single if. If you have an elif, it's only going to check it if the first if was false, if that makes sense. So yes, it's going really, really fast and it's checking if. But let's just say there were 100 checks. It would automatically stop and continue on, and if you're in a while loop, it would have to go all the way through all of them to come back up here. And the more complex and the more processor dependent things you have running in the background, you want to only have if and elif, because if you have multiple ifs, you could be costing yourself processor time. So just something to keep in the back of your head. I think the sun's already sneaking out. Do I look yellow and orange yet? I was going to put up the drapes this past weekend, but I had plumbing issues and lawnmower issues, and now I have a new one. I had a fan go out in the bathroom, so it is always fun. Oop, let me check on somebody real fast. It's after 8 my time. There we go. All right, done and done. All right, let's get back over here. And if you're just joining us today, make sure you're hitting that like button for me. I appreciate it. And subscribe. So now, if the computer picks, so what's our next paper? So paper, then paper. So right now, so I don't have to move up. I can look right here. All right, so paper beats rock. So we got paper and paper tie. If you beat how did I do this? So if paper beats rock, so it's scissors. So this needs to be scissors. S. And then rock. This would be rock. All right. And then our last one is scissors. Don't need to move that yet. Copy, paste, and then come up here and grab this one. And we're gonna go through this really, really slow to make sure I have not made any mistakes. So now we have scissors, and we stay consistent. We gotta do this. We also pick scissors and it ties. So, and this should be scissor beats paper. No. And if you pick rock. All right, so let's go through this. The computer picks rock. We pick rock, it ties. We pick paper, we win. And if we pick scissors, we lose. Okay, this is good. All right, so now computer picks paper. We pick paper, we tie. We pick scissors, we win. Else, we lose. All right, we're good there. Computer picks scissors. We pick scissors, we tie. We pick rock, we win. Else, we lose. All right, okay. Let's get this going. Let's see how this is. So we need to test this. This is the computer's pick. It picked scissors. So we need to test this path. Scissors, tie. Fantastic. Let's do this right here. Let's keep playing so we don't have to keep running this. So how can we do this? How can we get this to keep running? While true, we're going to hard code this. Play equals input. Check this out. Do you want to play again? If play equals is equivalent, not equals, sorry, equivalent to y, we're going to do count Yeah, that is if we want to hard code 2 out of 3 or three games. We could do it where let's set it up that we're gonna create this, then put this in, wrap this in a function, and actually as the input we're gonna take how many games do you want to play. So we're actually gonna need to make this a little bit more dynamic. But you are 100% on the right path there. All right, so lower. Now we could actually get fancy and take this as somebody that would type in yes, yeah, or anything that started with a Y. Else. Continue. Nope. Continue is a keyword. Game. So right now we need to make game equal to true, and then else game equal to false, and then print thank you for playing. All right, let's run this. Let's see where we are. All right, so we got S last time, and we knew that worked. So now let's do. So what beats scissors? Rock beats scissors. You win. Do you want to play again? Yes. All right. Oops. All right, so we have a dilemma, because if I do S right here, it's a tie. So I have no. All right, so this needs to be in this while loop. That makes sense to everyone? Because the way that I had just designed that was this was not. Now here's the weirdness is starting. I need to have this all in one because it's indented. I wish I could figure that out, because that is weird to me. If it's indented, let me rephrase. So I just learned something. So that's not in a function, that's indented. And the body under a while header, I needed to make this all no spaces between the lines. The older I get and the more I learn about myself, the weirder I am. All right. Run. Paper. All right, so here's one we don't know. So what we need to tie with paper. All right, we tie. Rock. We haven't tried this yet, so we need to try rock. We tie. Yes. Scissors. All right, so what loses to scissors? Paper. You lose. Okay, yes. Scissors. I think we tried rock. Rock beats scissors. You win. Yes. Scissors. Seriously? Paper. What beats paper? Scissors beats paper. And then rock. I think we already did that. And rock loses. Rock loses to paper. You lose. Yes. I think we've tried all our. Let's see. Have we tried paper yet? Have we seen paper? Yes. Paper tied. Okay, so we need to win against paper. Paper we tied. I don't see any others. All right, so what beats paper? Scissors. Okay, you win. Do we want to play again? Yes. I think we've done all the paths here. So now, all right. Venki has a very good point. So now we need to do this. How many times do we want to play? You lose. No. All right, so right here, that was right here, we're having this consistently go through. But now we don't have anybody counting. We don't have any counting of how many wins and how many losses. So let's see. Game true. Times input. How many games do you want to play? Now we do have a touch of a problem here. Input returns a string, so we need to convert this to an int. If you haven't seen this before, holler at me in chat and I'll explain what we're doing here, because that's a completely legal statement. So now we need to create a count. Count is equal to 0. Let's see. Yep, int. Exactly right. So now this is going to... So technically, we could move this while game all the way to the top. So check this out. While count is less than times, do this. I don't need 2 colons, just 1. Do this. But now what happens? LF, LF. Okay. Print. Thank you for playing. Now what happens if we want to move this? Okay, I got an idea. We need to move all this over. Move all this over just like so. And then we're going to go while game. Then we're going to pull this one back and Control Shift. All right, let's try this. How many games do you want to play? Let's do 3. All right. Well, this isn't going to work because we're not incrementing any of the count here. And we need to break. Okay. All right. So does anybody see what I did wrong? So I implemented a counter. Or I assigned a counter, but I actually didn't increment anything. So let's figure out where this needs to go. This needs to go right here. That's funny. Count, increment, 1. Okay. Boom. Let's do this again. We're going to play 3 times. Paper. Thank you for playing. That needs to be paper, tie, rock, paper. You win. Thanks for playing again. So we need to move this over here. Let's see. That's an ad. That's the only thing I hate about Burke, how are you? And give me a little bit more on the and explanation. All right, let's do this again because we also want to count who's winning, because if we were to actually go through and if they were to play 5 games, we need to really get sophisticated, and we would want to end the game after 3 rounds, because there'd be no point in playing the other 2, because the person has already won 3 of the 5. So same thing with 2 out of 3. If you were, it was mistaken. Never mind. No problem. Well, how are you today? If you've not jumped on here before, you are more than welcome to ask questions. I'm here to help everyone get more comfortable at Python. So if you're just jumping on here, please make sure you're hitting that like button. And if you've never joined our channel before, please hit that subscribe button as well. And down in the description below, we do have a Discord server that we do have a lot of activity, and we're growing, and I've been doing a lot more, but I think we're about to hit, I think if we have one more Discord member, we'll be at 300 members on that server. So, all right, so we have some little bit of order of operations stuff here. I have thank you for playing constantly, so that's wrong because we're mid-game. So I like this example because I'm doing all right. Still trying to look for a new job, but I'm having a good time doing all these live streams, going over old topics. All right, how many games do you want to play? Let's play 3. So I'm going to cheat, and we have this here. The computer picked scissors, so I'm going to pick rock. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I hope that all works out for you. All right, so we picked rock. We won. Computer picks rock. We're going to pick paper because paper covers rock. You win. And then, so the game should have ended here. So we need to think about how would we do this. So we need to solve. There's a lot here to solve, and these are the reason why I'm constantly picking these challenges. Let's see, we got something going on Discord, and thank you very much. I appreciate it. We now have 300 members in our Discord server, so I'm gonna make my kids very jealous. That because when I told them that one day, I think I had like 250, and they about fell over. Because they're like, how did you even get a Discord server? I said, because I have really cool, I have a very cool community. And actually one of our subscribers, actually our moderator and our admin are from the YouTube community. So let's do no. So I'm a huge proponent of allowing people to have opportunities to do things. So I had 2 people that were here very early on the channel, and we're on live streams, and we're contributing to discussions, and one of them asked if they could build my Discord channel, and I was like, absolutely. And then another one was very, very active on my live streams, and then me and the admin discussed, and that's how they became a moderator on the YouTube channel and a moderator on the Discord server. So I'm a huge proponent of you get out what you put in. So all right, we've got to handle a lot of things here. So one we need to deal with this. So if we enter 3 and we divide by 2, we get 1.5. All right. So what happens if I round this up? Oops. What happens? I get 1. So that does not round up. But if I go, let's find out the best algorithm for this. So I need this to be Would it be floor division plus 1? Let's find out. So 3, floor division 2 plus 1. 2 out of 3. So now let's find if we play 5 games. 5. So we would need to have a lot of constraints here. This would need to be an odd number, and it would need to be on the other side of the midpoint. Does that make sense? I know that is a lot, and I just said a whole bunch of words. And I know my English and my thought process can be very jumpy. So let's deal with all of this. So 5 divided by 2, that's 2.5. So 5 floor division by 2 plus 1. All right, 3 out of 5. All right, so this logic is holding true. Now, let's do best of 7. Floor division 2 plus 1. 4. Will that work? Yes. All right. So now here's our algorithm to find out how many games. Now also, this needs to be even. Excuse me. This needs to be odd. So, we've talked about this a lot. How in the world do we find out if a number is odd? So, an odd number, so we need to go we need to explain this like a 5-year-old. So, an odd number is just not an even number. So, it can't be divisible by 2. So, let's look. We need to create let's just get this in here. Odd x so basically just not divisible by 2, right? Okay. And we've seen, if you are new here and you're just jumping on, make sure you're hitting that like button for me. And also, if you've not seen this modulo button before, let me know. So equivalent to 0. All right. Let's check this out. 6. Nope. So we cannot do 1 because everything is divisible by 1. So we need to do this. We need to design it this way. False. All right. So let's begin to unpack. Let's begin to unpack this. So this needs to be it can't be even, so we're just going to do a not. I think we're just going to do a not because we need to do this and odd test, odd, and odd test. See, this is a perfect example. Something very simple like this, it's a lot more complicated than it is. And this is why I'm spending a lot of time and energy in trying to convince everybody, because I know we're having a lot of people jump on here and jump off. And I'm trying to get it better at explaining and articulating that doing this is important and it's a good exercise. And it's just like going to the gym, it's going for a run. Everybody's like, yeah, but how can I get healthier? How can I get in better shape? Well, have you gone to the gym or have you gone for a run? Yeah, but what else can I do? Yeah, you have to do it. Just had this discussion yesterday at jiu-jitsu with someone. They like coming to this one thing. It's called open mat, and we just kind of train and practice. And I said, when's the last time you went to class? And they're like, I don't know. I just like coming to open mat. Well, they're struggling with developing because their tools, they only have this, they only have the same tool. They just have a hammer, and they're walking around and they're trying to look for nails. So if you've not ever heard me say that, if all you know how to use is a hammer, everything you see is a nail. Meaning you're going to try to use the same technique to solve all your problems. And you need to have a very full toolbox. So I like problems like this because, yes, they're simple, but they're also not. So because this is exactly what you're going to run into in the real world when you get given a problem, it's going to look like this. So, all right, I know I've rambled and we've actually lost people, but if you're still here, you're wanting to learn and you're wanting to expand your knowledge. So figure out a way to make the simple thing foolproof. And what you'll do is you'll find out that it's a lot more complicated than you think. So, all right. So we need to test this and make sure this comes out right. So we're going to do return, it's an odd number. So return x not equal to 0. Let's bring this in. We're going to do F9. All right, so odd. We're going to test this and make sure I have this right. So 4. All right. Helps if you actually complete what you're wanting to do. All right, so 4 is false. 3 is true. 7 is true. 6 false. All right, so here we go. Let's go up. Just double check and make sure. 9 true. 10 false. All right. Okay, good. So this algorithm. So I know this is weird, and nots and trues and false, especially not trues and not falses. True and false questions made my life awful when I was in school 30 years ago. So as you can see, I'm quite a bit older than most of you here, and probably a lot older than most of you here. So what I did is I basically made the reverse, because as we were designing this logic, this algorithm, everything is divisible by 1, so we couldn't check that. So it couldn't be divisible by 2. Not divisible by 2. So that's what we did. So now what we have to do is we have to then reinsert this to test times to make sure so then we need to do this. We need to do this until they get it right. So check this out. While true, let's move this down here. We don't need to be redundant and have this more than one time. We can do this here. All right. And then odd. If odd times pass. So if this is true, break, else pass. Actually, we don't need an else. We can just do this. All right. Let's check this out. Let's see how we're doing. All right. Now, we haven't solved our better 2 out of 3 problem. It'll still go. How many times do you want to play? 3. Shoot. No. Let's do this. F9. 4. Alright, so 6, 3. Okay, this worked. So we do have a problem here. Print, please enter an odd number. There we go. There we go. Okay. Better. We're getting there. How many games do you want to play? 6. Else. There we go. Else, please enter an odd number. All right. Else. There we go. Else. Print. No, this is in the wrong spot. I'm not thinking about this well today. Told you. Not true, not false. Cut. Paste. All right, let's run this. Kill this. Run this. F9. How many games do you want to play? All right, 6. Please enter an odd number. 3. Awesome. Okay. Now let's handle. Nope. The more that I think about this, we could end up playing. So we need to track our wins and losses. What? Okay. So we need to track the wins and losses, and if somebody gets to one past the midpoint. Ooh, there we go. Okay. All right, does that make sense? So we may not even need to use the counter. We're going to be whoever. So computer wins equals 0. We don't need our counter. And we don't even have to handle floor division +1. Just whoever gets past the midpoint. Does that make sense? So if we're playing 5 games, the midpoint is 2, or even if we just divide by 2, it's 2.5. So if someone's wins, computer wins is greater than 5 divided by 2. Bingo. Let's do computer wins. Computer wins equals 3. Helps if you can spell computer right. Computer. Bingo. Okay. So here we are. Computer wins blank, blank, blank. All right. So we need to, we've handled all this. We've come up with a odd function to make sure that we're going to play the proper amount of games. We're testing if it is correct. We're giving them a feedback. Hey, you need to enter an odd number, or this is going to not work. Player wins equals 0. All right. Mid equals times divided by 2. Okay. And let's see, do you want to play again? So now this, here we go. While computer wins less than mid and, not an or, and. So we can unpack that. I appreciate it. Thank you, Believe. And player wins less than mid. So why do they both need to be less than mid and not an or? Because I was about to type or, but if that were the case, if we're going to play 5 games and the midpoint is 2.5, then, and we got done with the 5th game, somebody would have 3, somebody would have 2. So this or, somebody would have 2 and somebody would have 3. So this would work. So this has to be and. This needs to be triggering and continuing if both of these are 2 and 2. Does that make sense? Or if it was out of 3, 1 and 1. Because they both need to be less than the total. Or we could have added the totals. One other way that we could have done this is wins plus wins less than times. Something like that. More than one way to skin a cat. All of these work because you'll get the same answer. But I guess this is what came to my mind. Technically, I think this is probably better. All right, so we need to track who wins. All right, so if this comes here, oops, really? That goes all the way down to there? All right. No, it's going to be inside this. Player wins increment by 1. Computer wins increment by 1. Let's move this up. And then get down here. This order of operation really doesn't matter. Sorry. Oh, whoa. Just gotta. Uh-oh. Okay. No, I did that right. Player wins increment by 1. If I lose, computer wins increment by 1. And last but not least, don't want any extra spaces or data. On the tail end, it's fine, doesn't matter. All right. So I don't need this count. I don't need this count. All right. Let's see. You guys can still see me all right. All right. If you are new and you haven't hit that like button, do me a favor. Go and hit that like button for me. So, all right. Now we need to have a check. of, nope, we're already doing this check. But now, where we need, this is going to be right here. No. Here. Let's collapse this so we can see. So I want this at the end of each one. At the end, then I want to print the end of each round inside the overall game. All right, print computer wins. Okay, why is this still there? Maybe this doesn't like where I'm putting this. Let's get rid of this and expand all this, but that's exactly where it needs to be. Yep. Print computer wins. Computer wins. Gee whiz, get this out of here. And your wins. Oh, it's thrown up because I don't have an F string in here. Okay. It's like, why isn't this liking this? Player underscore wins. This does not like this at all. Is that better? Let's expand all this and check all of them. Okay, boom, boom, boom. There we go. All right. All right, 1, 2, 3. I like to go back and always double check this, and I'll move this up. I know this is, sorry. So let me show you. So this is what I'm doing right now. I am double clicking this to make sure that I have 1, 2, 3 wins in here. And then computer wins, I want to make, because we have 3 paths, 1, 2, 3. So if you're just now joining us, thank you, Nico. Nico was asking everybody to hit the like button, just in case you weren't sure what I was referring. So we're playing rock, paper, scissors. There's 3 choices, and there's 2 players. So there's 9 paths. So what I'm doing right here is, as I'm going through, the reason why I say there's 9 paths is you can have redundant picks. You can both pick the same one. So it's not like I'm drawing from a hat and I'm removing that choice. I'm removing a 3 out of the hat. You can still pick rock and the other person picks rock and you don't know. So 3 times 3, you have two ways to make that choice. So it's not a factorial, it's a exponent. So 3 times 3 is 9. So 1, 2, 3 scenarios, and then 3 scenarios inside each of those, because you can match, you can pick a different one and win, or pick a different one and lose. So I want to make sure, because I have the tie here, nothing happens. Then in one scenario, you can win, you can lose. So I'm making double sure everything is happening here. So, all right. So here we go. Let's see if I've done all of this correctly. And I've broken my own rules. I've done a lot of typing here and not checked any of it. So let's go ahead and run. All right, how many games do I want to play? Let's play 3 and just make sure it works. All right. The next time we do this, I've got to turn off that I know what they're picking. Paper, so we're going to pick rock and we're going to lose. All right, computer, yep. Computer wins. Oh, we need to fix that next time. Your wins, and let's capitalize that. Let's do that now. Computer wins. Let's get rid of this. It's right here. And let's make this capital and this capital. Let's draw our attention. Let's put this here and put this here. All right. All right. Computers wins, and they picked scissors, so now I'm going to pick paper. Oh, paper. Paper loses. All right. So, computer won. Okay. So now, thank you for playing. So I ended. So I didn't have an answer. Okay, no. Did not inform that the game was over because the computer won 2 out of 3. Thank you for playing. Do you want to play again? No, thank you for playing. Let's get rid of this. So let's comment that out. So we have that, because right now that's doing that twice. And let's get rid of all these. Maybe the ties. Yeah. No. Let's keep that. Let's keep those in there. All right, let's do this again. Oh, and let's turn this off so we don't know what the computer's picking. All right, we don't need to test that anymore to make sure that those paths are working. So, all right. How many games do you want to play? Let's do 5. All right, please pick. So rock, paper, scissors. So I'm going to pick rock. Tie. Computer wins. All right, so let's pick. So it just picked rock. Let's pick paper. We tied again. Okay, now I'm gonna go rock. Okay, I win. So computer wins. Your wins. So I'm winning 1 out of 1. So all right. Rock, paper, rock. Going scissors. Oh crap. Okay, so it's 1 to 1. Scissors. Uh-oh, this is not looking good. All right, I'm going rock. Lose. Okay. All right, computer wins. 3 out of 5. 3 out of the 4 games. So the loop stops. I guess that's pretty good. Can you think of anything else that I may need to expand upon? How long have we been on? Wow, we've already been on 1 hour and 15 minutes. That has gone very, very quickly. So, all right, is there any aspect of this that you may not be understanding, any functionality that just doesn't quite make any sense? Anything that I need to go over more in depth? Is there anything that you've been wanting to ask? Because look, if you have this question, it's going to help me, give me something to talk about. And also, somebody else out there has this question. So even if it's something that you kind of maybe already think you know, maybe we can discuss it and you can learn it on a deeper level. Because there's an old saying, Richard Feynman, mathematician and physicist, was around a long time. If you want to see how well you know something, try to explain it. So one way to think about it is if you can't quite explain it, you kind of don't understand it all the way. So there we are. So I don't know what we're going to talk about tomorrow, but we're probably going to start wrapping up here because I don't really have, unless we really start getting some good questions, I don't think. Ooh, that was a good one. I was going back through yesterday trying to find some stuff, and it was one of the Python, or Google used to put on Python classes, and they actually came up with a lot of exercises for seminars and things. And there was a baby name. There was a baby name one. Let's see. There's that one. What is it? This is the free code camp exercise that I did. Oh, that was the horse races. What were some of the other? Oh, creating times tables, because you needed to think about padding and formatting, and that was a really, really good one. Let's see. What else? What else was there? Oh, the leap year. That is a great example. And then also there was one that I used to love to do when I would go to my kids' schools about teaching how to round. So if you were to have a rounding scenario, so in the US, the grades go something like this. So an A is typically a 90 to 100. A B is an 89 to, other way, an 80 to an 89. A C, 70 through 79, so on and so forth. But the exercise that I saw, it was, what happens if you designed an algorithm to round this up to, like if it was a 93, you would round it up to a 95. And then same thing here. So if it was an 83, you would move this up to an 85. And of course an 84, an 85, and so on and so forth. But if it was an 81 or an 82, an 81 or an 82, they would stay put. This is a great exercise. We're probably going to do this tomorrow, and then what is this one? Longest substring computer guessing game. I don't remember that one at all. I'm probably gonna have to go back and find that video. Ooh, that's on Free Code Camp. And then also, this is another great one to do. Is it a leap year? Is it a leap year? Both of these are very, very good exercises for algorithmic design. I mean, same thing with all of this. So we started out and we were doing rock, paper, scissors. Well, this is pretty clean and simple to do. But once we really started to think about everything, it was actually had a lot more to it than meets the eye. Because how many times do you actually want to do this? We got to do a test to see if it's even. Because that was one thing that I learned. A user just wants their information. They have so many other things to do. They don't care. You're there to support them. You're there to help them. They have their own responsibilities. They're using your tool to solve a problem for them. They don't, and it's not to be mean, they don't care what your constraints are. So your job is to think about this. Your job is to think about the things that they don't care about. And that is actually, it used to bother me. Now I think it's really cool. So I have to sit around and think, what is the user going to do that could screw all this up? And that is actually very, very cool to me. So because I was partnered with, early on, I was partnered with somebody who was, I considered basically a freaking genius, because his edge case testing is bananas, because he's been around a while and he's younger than me. So I can only imagine all the stuff that he's seen. He's like, hey, they're going to do this and they're going to do it wrong. And I was like, wait a minute, what? He goes, I'm telling you, we've got to defend against it. We've got to program against it. And I was like, all right. And then I would build the table and I'd do something. He goes, hey, what happens if they come in here and get rid of one of the X's? I said, what do you mean what happens if they come in here and get rid of one of the X's? He goes, what happens if somebody wants to rerun a report? Blah, 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 blah. So every time, so the user didn't even know I was doing all this on the back end. They didn't care. But I was making their life easier to make sure it was going to operate. And that's what you end up doing. So, all right. I know I've rambled on a little bit. Any questions? Any questions right now? Anything pressing? So tomorrow we're going to look at this right here. This is a very good one, because this is just another algorithmic design. Same thing with is a leap year. So we're going to do those. We're going to do those tomorrow. Nico, you got anything you want to ask or talk about? I can hang out for a few more minutes, because I gotta keep going on my day, but we can chat for a minute if there's anything pressing, because I think I've covered everything. I don't think we can have a path here. Trying to think. I feel like this may be bad. Yes. We could defend against this just a little bit. So if they were to type yes here, if they wanted to play, this would throw up. So let's do 0 right here. So let's go ahead and look at this. All right, how many games do you want to play? We just want to play 3. Rock, paper, rock, paper. I gotta go scissors. No. Okay. So what happens if they came in here and did yeah or yes? So our original, this would throw up. But now, since I'm grabbing, what happens if they really wanted to type yes and they did something like that? Or something held down, yes. I'm actually just checking this first letter. Yeah, yes, Y. So I could do Y, I could do yes, I could do yeah. I grab all of that. So check this out. And, oh, crap. Okay. And boom. Let's run this again. 3. I think I changed it after. I don't know. We're going to find out. 3. Rock. 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 No way. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay, this should be working. So Is this inside a function yet? No. Okay. No. No. So let's find out play. Play equals 0 because it was. Do you want to play again? Lower. It was play. Then I was grabbing play index 0 equals y. I'll have to look at this later. All right, let me get back over to chat. Why is it so easy to make malware? I've never made malware. You're talking about, well, I guess the social engineering of getting the malware on the computer. That is, I guess, the real issue, because you want to get that person to click that link, right? So the social engineering of being enticing, making something look, that may be the hurdle. But I guess I've not ever experimented with making malware where you open a link, and I guess you could, once you make it into the operating system or just anywhere in the computer, you can go ahead and begin to take control over, because by clicking that link, you are opening up everything. So I guess I've not ever looked at malware. Have you created some, Nico? And I guess you're saying, telling someone that it's a game would make install. Yeah, but I mean, are you just wanting to gain access, or you wanting to do other things to you just want to see if you can get on their computer? Because I mean, you want to watch that and walk that fine line, because you want to be respectful of, because I mean, people are out in the world and they just want to live, and they just want to do their thing. So gotcha. Okay. Well, you'll have to tell me more about it, because that sounds very interesting. Well, have you made a YouTube channel and tried to share your information and your knowledge of how to build these things? Because there may be some people who are very interested, and you can always do a disclaimer on it. This is for educational purposes only, and then maybe only show the less malicious techniques. And then, because I mean, cybersecurity is an extremely growing industry. And I've heard that white hat hackers, if you're good, you can write your own ticket. Wanted to make videos, but my mic isn't working and my voice sounds bad, and AI voice sounds bad. Well, I guess you could record it on your phone. So here's an idea, because I did this before, where I had a microphone and I had a standalone video before I had a webcam. And what I had to do is I had to link up the audio and the video. So it's a little bit more work. But what you could do is record it on your phone, record your video with your screen capture, and then when you're editing it, overlay and just time them up. Hey Jan, how are you doing? And you're able to just time it up and overlay them at the same time period, and you'd be able to add audio. So just don't let those small things discourage you from wanting to record my voice, and it would sound horrible. Well, I've been doing this. Well, you have to think about this. Well, one, I'm probably quite a bit older than you, Nico. I've been talking and teaching for basically 30 years. I've been on YouTube for 7. So I have, and I mean, my mic isn't super great. It's a Snowball, but I mean, it's an okay mic. But tempo, articulation, I used to say a lot. And I mean, the more that I think about it when I'm here, is that this is a little weird that no one is here and I'm continuing to talk. So if I think about it too much, it is you have to get over the weird and you just have to do it. So probably what you're picking up on is just not practice. Absolutely. That's a great way to put it, because I think I'm trying to remember the old mic that I had, and then I got a new one. But I'll put it like this. Hey, Carrie. So what I love this example, that when I was a young teenager, actually it may have been a preteen, it may have been like 12. So I was at a racket club. I was taking tennis over the summer, and I had a misconception. I get asked, the biggest question I probably get asked is, what is this? What is my interpreter? What is my editor? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Can you think through this? It doesn't matter. So the point of this story, this analogy, is this tennis pro asked me if I wanted to play, and I looked at him and I said, no, because you have a better racket. He said, okay. So he took away that complaint and we swapped rackets. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah. You said I'm better because of my racket. So I'm going to use your racket and you're going to use my racket. And I was like, okay. And I was like, so we went out there and I got destroyed. I think I won. I don't even think we played all 6 games because it was just going so badly. I think we stopped at 4. Do I take, do you take regular classes here? Like, do I give regular classes? I have a ton. Oh, Nico, I appreciate it. No, what we do here is I have over 1,000 videos, and probably 20 or 30 live streams now. And I've been doing this a very long time. I've been learning Python for 11 years. I'm a former data analyst. I've done classes on Free Code Camp, Cody Tech, and Code Dam. So, and I've taught in middle school, high school, elementary school, and I love sharing my information, my knowledge. But what you're going to find out, the overarching theme that I continuously talk about is problem solving. You're going to run across and find better tools in Python, and that's fine. You want to naturally find those. You don't want to go around. You want to be able to do these things. What can go wrong? How can I defend against it? How can I make it better? How can I make the user's experience better? What are they going to do that they're not going to think about, that I can assist them? How can I be a genius to think about stuff they don't care about? That's my job. My job is to filter through all their garbage that they don't need to worry. I'm gonna fix everything they don't need to worry about. So they think, they're like, that if they complain about the program, that means I didn't think about it enough. If it goes well, they don't care. If it goes wrong, they care very much so. So that means I didn't think about everything. You want them to just think it's a program, because then that means it doesn't go wrong. That's what you want to do when you're building. Okay, what's Jan saying? Oh, Jan's just being awesome. Thank you, Jan. Yeah, Carrie, if you've not joined Discord, we actually... Oh, Jan, you don't know this yet. We just hit 300 members on the Discord. during this stream. So I was super excited about that. And also, while you guys are here, you guys are going to get to hear about this first. In the next 2 weeks, we're going to hit 1 million views on the channel, which I'm like, my brain is like just melting because of that. That I'm actually going to have, because we're at 9,000. We're at 993,000 views so far on the channel. Actually, let me look right now. No. Let me check the channel. Let's see. Oh, we picked up some subscribers during this stream. Quite a few. Well, thank you everyone for subscribing. So, all right, let me go to the lifetime. So Jan, oh wow, so we're under 6 now. We just, so it's 994,000 total views on the channel. That is very, very cool. And the subscriber count is 12,766. So I'm just absolutely over elated. And my younger son, who actually gave me the motivation, let's see, I appreciate it. Why do great YouTubers like you get little attention? Oh, okay. I can actually discuss this. And this is one of the things that I struggle with, that, because Nico, you're here basically every day, and you're trying to, I'm trying to explain what's important, and you're hanging out and you're trying to really understand what I'm saying is important. Human nature is very, very interesting. I've been teaching and training people for 30 years. Martial arts, programming, best work practices, handling equipment, handling people, handling flows of everything. Everything has an ebb and flow, and it goes to it. So, people want to be told the one way to do something because it's very challenging. This is not easy. So when I originally did this, I didn't have any of this. I counted and I went through, and we just did a count to see when we got to 5 and we stopped. Well, we don't really need to. We just started to think about this. I call it, you don't think about it till you think about it. So we had to enter an odd number. I never did this until today. We need to then check and make sure it's odd. And then also we only want to play the minimal number of games that you play. Well, this is very granular, and this is very specific, and this is very challenging to do. People typically don't like that. They want to be told. I'll give you a great example of in the U.S. in the States. That's why health books, there's plenty of them, and I think I spoke about this. They want the one thing, the one quick thing. I have so many other things going on. Just tell me the one thing I need to do. Okay, you need to eat less and exercise more. Yeah. But is there another one thing I can do? And the answer is no, because this is hard to do. So my stuff is not fun and exciting. My stuff is granular. It challenges people. It shows them the work to do. And that's not easy to do. The and keyword. Can the and keyword be used? Okay. Can the and keyword be used anywhere like true and false will return false? You're exactly right. Jan, you're exactly right. Devs do get paid very, very well. All right. Let me go back to Nico's question. You can, if you need multiple, if you need more than one scenario. So can I have an and? Will it return false? Well, okay. Let me go through this. So basically, that's kind of a variation. T. Hey T, how do you run open use? Wait a minute. What's that? How to run open use dis best friend in my computer. I want to land. I'm very, very sorry about that. I'm not following. Yeah. if Tati, if you can try that again, I'll be more than happy to answer that. But all right. So, Nico, back to your question. This was going to be false. So I needed this to be basically false, not. So let me tell you, let me see if this helps you. False. So there's going to be times, basically, I wanted this to be false, so I changed this around. Now, there is going to be times where you're maybe not going to be able to do this, so you're going to need this. So I could have made this. Let me show you. Here we go. I know exactly what I want to do now. All right. 2 equals. Oops. Let's do 6. And let me try this again. All right. So this is true. So what happens if I needed this to be false? This keyword is very, very helpful because sometimes you're going to need to do the inverse of it. So now there is also a technique, and I made a whole video on this, is that if, as you're clicking a button, you want it to toggle back and forth. So check this out. And here's a perfect example of the global. So we could actually talk about this for a minute. I could create a function, def switch, and I then bring in x. I close this out. Return not x. So check this out. Then I do global. We're just going to break all kinds of rules here. All right, so x equals false. All right, why do you stop using the same file every every file for everything? Why did you stop using the same file for everything? Searchability. So what I figured out, I think, it's got something in Discord too. New member. Awesome. We are at 301. That is so cool. So, all right, Nico posed the question, why did I stop using the same file? Because searchability, being able to figure out exactly where something was. So what I was doing is, I think I had one file for maybe the first 3 years of YouTube, and I was like, all right, this is getting a little out of hand. So what I did is then I started breaking them down for years, and each year of the YouTube channel had its own file. Because how that started was I did have one file for everything. Well, then I couldn't find anything. I couldn't quite remember exactly what it was called. So I was going and opening up multiple files. But if I could go and look at a release date of when the YouTube video published, then I could go find that file and then do a search on that. So that was where that kind of came to be. But all right, let's run this. Print switch. I think this is going to work. Let's see. Nope, that's not what I want. Check this out. All right, run this. X parameter is global. Let's bring non-local. No, I want to do this. I'm going to have to reread non-local. Let's try this one more time. But I'm going to show you. But what I want to do is I want to show, let's just do this. Print switch. Is that right? X. Cancel this. F9, not F5. All right. So here's an example where I went around the other way. So sometimes if you'll need, and to so you don't have to worry about nons and falses and trues. I think I hear some dogs getting into stuff. I may need to drop in a minute. But so for readability, so I know like whenever I had like an answer and the answer was true, instead of me having to think of the reverse, I would do while not answer, because the answer was false. So I would make my header statement true by putting a not in front of my false. So not false is true. Now check this out. So not false is false. So I have inverse, so they cancel each other. So same thing with like this. -5, -5, 5, -5, -5. I know that sounds really, really weird, but this is completely legal in Python. All right. Okay, so let's see. Where are we? We are at hour and 47 minutes, something like that. 49 minutes on OBS. Hour and 47 on YouTube. I think there's a little bit of a delay. Okay. All right. So tomorrow we're going to be doing rounding with a certain set of parameters, and then we're going to be looking at leap year. So if there's anything pressing that we want to talk about for tomorrow, drop it over in Discord in either one of the general chats, and I'll add it to our itinerary. But thank you everybody for joining, making sure you're joining Discord, subscribing, hitting that like button for me. Jan, Nico, appreciate all the support. Jan, as always, you are always been so helpful to me. I just want to make sure you understand how much I appreciate your time and energy, because I know you have a lot going on right now. But as always, everyone, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for asking questions. I would not have a channel if it wasn't for you all. So thank you very much, and we'll talk tomorrow. Bye, everyone.